You don't forget a moment like that. A sudden sharp pain, the kind that grabs your chest like a fist, squeezing harder with every breath. A gasp, a thud, silence, then chaos. A hospital room, bright lights glaring down, doctors shouting orders, nurses rushing, the beep beep of machines, life hanging by a thread. It happened to him. Right there, right now, heart failure. The words sound clinical, cold. But what if I told you it's more like a slow betrayal? Not from some mysterious disease lurking in the shadows. No, it's a silent war waged every day, right on your dinner plate. Foods you eat every single day, believing they're harmless. Some even tasty, some even comforting, but beneath their innocent surface lies a ticking time bomb for your heart. Picture this: a neighbor, a friend, maybe even you, living a routine life. Coffee in the morning, a quick sandwich for lunch, a little snack to get through the afternoon. It's so normal, so familiar. Until one day the heart stumbles, the lights dim, the world slows down. And all you can ask is, why? Because the foods you love, they might be the villains in your story, hidden in plain sight, in that bread you grab without thinking, the salty chips you munch absent-mindedly, the sugary drinks you reach for when you're tired. They don't just fill you up. They fill your arteries with danger. You see, heart failure isn't just about old age. It's about choices. Small, everyday choices that pile up, like snow on a roof, until it can't hold any more weight. Then, crack, collapse. And here's the kicker. It's not just the obvious junk food. No. Some of the worst offenders are the everyday foods. Foods that sneak into your meals, your snacks, your routine. They're like wolves in sheep's clothing. You think you're eating safely, but inside, your heart is gasping for air. I want you to stop for a second. Really stop. Think about your last meal. Was it fresh? Was it processed? Was it loaded with hidden sugars or salt? Because that's where the danger hides. Not in the glaring red warning labels, but in the small print. The silent killers of your heartbeat. And if you think, I'm healthy, I don't need to worry, listen close. Heart failure doesn't wait for you to get sick. It waits for you to ignore it. The truth? We're surrounded by these foods. They're everywhere. In the supermarket, in the fast food joints, even in the healthy aisles. They're disguised, rebranded, repackaged, making promises they can't keep. Promises of convenience, taste, satisfaction. But at what cost? What if I told you that every bite you take could be a choice, towards life or towards decline? That's the truth no one tells you. And today, you'll hear it. Because this is the moment to wake up, to see the real enemy, to take back control. Because your heart, it's not just a pump, it's your story, your memories, your tomorrow, and it deserves better. So hold on tight. This is not just about food. It's about survival, about fighting back, about living fully. And it starts now. Meet George, a man you'd pass on the street without a second thought. 62, retired electrician, with hands rough from years of work and eyes that hold a quiet kindness. He's like many of us, loves his morning coffee, a quick sandwich at noon, and those salty snacks in the evening while watching the game. Nothing fancy, nothing unusual. But George's story isn't about normal. It's about how easy it is to slip, how quickly the everyday can turn dangerous. 6 months ago, George felt a strange heaviness. Not pain exactly, just a weight pressing down on his chest. He shrugged it off. Must be stress, he told his wife. I'm fine. But the feeling didn't go away. It crept in like a shadow, growing, twisting. One morning, George woke up dizzy. His legs felt weak. He sat on the edge of the bed, heart pounding. I just don't feel right, he said. Then the worst happened. He stood up and everything went black. He woke up in the hospital. Tubes everywhere, the steady beep of machines filling the room. Doctors said 2 words that shattered his world. Heart failure. Me? No way, he thought. I'm not that guy. But here's the twist. George wasn't eating fast food daily. He wasn't a smoker. He wasn't heavy or inactive. What was going on? Turns out George's diet was quietly sabotaging him. Every day his meals were packed with hidden dangers: processed meats, white bread, sugary cereals. He thought they were harmless, even healthy. They were easy, cheap, comforting. One morning he'd grab a toaster pastry and a cup of coffee. A little treat, he'd say. But those pastries were loaded with sugars that made his heart work overtime. The white bread sandwiches he ate for lunch, stripped of nutrients, full of additives. Salty chips after dinner? Each bite chipped away at his arteries. George didn't know it then, but every choice was adding weight to his heart's burden. When the doctors explained, he was stunned. "I never imagined food could hurt me like this," he admitted. "I thought heart failure was just bad luck or genetics." But it wasn't luck. It was a slow, silent process triggered by daily habits, and George had the power to change it. That moment in the hospital bed was his wake-up call. Not a curse, but a challenge. He started small, swapping sugary cereals for oatmeal, replacing white bread with whole grain, choosing fresh veggies over salty snacks. It wasn't easy. Old habits die hard. There were cravings, moments of doubt. "I miss my chips," he confessed one evening, "but I want to see my grandkids grow up." Slowly, George felt the difference. More energy, clearer mind. The heaviness on his chest lifted. His heart began to heal. George's story isn't unique. It's the story of many, maybe even yours. But here's the key. It's never too late to rewrite the script, to take back control. George's heart didn't give up. Neither should yours. Imagine your heart as a mighty engine, relentless, pumping non-stop to keep you alive. Now picture the fuel you give that engine. Not just any fuel, but the kind that either powers it smoothly or clogs it up like sludge in a pipe. That's what happens when you eat certain foods every day. Think of processed, salty, sugary foods as the sludge. They don't just add empty calories, they coat your arteries with thick, sticky plaque. Over time, this narrows the paths where blood flows, like traffic jams on a highway. Your heart has to work harder to push blood through these narrowed vessels. Now, your heart is strong, but it's not invincible. When it has to strain against resistance day after day, it starts to wear down. The muscle thickens in an attempt to compensate, kind of like a runner carrying a heavy backpack. But that extra weight slows the runner down, makes the journey harder. Eventually, the heart can't keep up. That's heart failure. But why does this happen so quietly? Why don't you feel it right away? Because your body is an expert at hiding damage until it's too late. High sodium levels from salty foods make your body retain water. Extra fluid puts pressure on your heart. Sugary foods spike your blood sugar and insulin levels, stirring inflammation that damages blood vessels. Processed meats often carry preservatives that increase oxidative stress. Think of it like rust eating away at metal. It's a perfect storm happening inside you, invisible but deadly. Here's a metaphor. Imagine a garden hose. If it's clean, water flows freely. But if it's clogged with dirt and debris, water pressure builds up behind the blockage. Your heart is that pump struggling against rising pressure. Over time, the hose weakens and cracks. And don't forget the fats. Trans fats and saturated fats sneak into your diet disguised as tasty, convenient foods. These fats raise bad cholesterol, speeding up plaque buildup. They're like invisible thieves stealing the heart's strength. This all adds up to one thing: a heart forced to overwork, muscles getting weaker, chambers dilating. The pump that once powered you is failing, not overnight, but step by step. The scariest part? Many people don't notice until symptoms hit: breathlessness, swelling, fatigue, the body waving a red flag too late. But now you know the hidden mechanics. The foods you eat are not just calories, they are actors in a drama unfolding inside your chest. Choose the wrong cast, and the story ends badly. Choose wisely, and you give your heart a fighting chance. Let me tell you about Maria. She used to grab a quick breakfast every morning. A sugary cereal with milk and a splash of coffee. Easy, fast, familiar. But after a health scare, she learned that those sweet cereals were flooding her body with hidden sugars. Sugars that made her heart race, her blood vessels tighten. She switched to oatmeal, slow cooked with cinnamon and fresh berries. Not only did her mornings feel richer, but her energy lasted longer. The secret: real food fuels your heart without the crash. Here's the takeaway: don't let convenience trick you. Start your day with whole grains and natural flavors. Your heart will thank you with steady beats and calm strength. Then there's Tom, a man who loved his salty snacks, chips, pretzels, even salted nuts. It was his comfort after a long day, but salt is a sneaky enemy. It holds water inside your body like a dam, raising blood pressure and making your heart pump harder. When Tom learned this, he swapped chips for raw almonds and crunchy veggies. At first, it felt strange. "Where's the salt?" he asked. But soon, he realized he was less bloated, less tired. His heart wasn't screaming under pressure anymore. Lesson 2. Salt isn't just flavor, it's a weight your heart must carry. Lighten the load with natural snacks. And finally, meet Ellen. She thought all fats were bad, so she avoided oils and nuts entirely. Then came the surprising advice: not all fats are enemies. Healthy fats, like those in olive oil, avocados, and fish, are heart's best friends. Ellen started drizzling olive oil on her salads and snacking on walnuts. She noticed her cholesterol levels improving, her heart feeling more resilient. It's not about cutting fat, it's about choosing the right fat. Third tip: nourish your heart with good fats. They're the oils that keep the engine running smooth. Each of these stories shows one thing: small changes in what you eat can reshape your heart's future. It's not about sacrifice, it's about smart, simple swaps. Your heart is listening. Are you ready to speak its language? Now, take a deep breath. Feel that? That's life. Steady, strong, waiting for you to take the reins. This isn't about fear. It's about power. Power to change, to fight back, to rewrite the story your heart tells. Look, I get it. Habits are tough. Old tastes cling like shadows. But here's the truth: every single choice you make matters. Not tomorrow, not someday, right now, right this minute. You're not alone in this. Thousands have stood where you stand, feeling uncertain, overwhelmed, maybe even defeated. But they took a step, just one. And that step sparked a ripple, a new energy, a new hope. Your heart beats for more than survival. It beats for laughter with loved ones, for the sunrise you haven't seen yet, for moments that still wait to be lived. Remember George? He didn't give up. Maria, Tom, Ellen, they didn't give up either, because they understood something crucial. Heart health isn't about perfection. It's about persistence, about kindness to yourself and to the life beating within you. So, start small. Swap one snack, add one fresh vegetable, pour 1 cup of water instead of soda. Watch how those small acts build into a movement toward health, toward joy, toward life. And if doubt creeps in, if the old habits call you back, listen closely. That's just fear trying to hold you down. But you're stronger. You have the knowledge now. You have the power. This is your moment, your heart's moment. Live it fully. Live it fiercely, because you deserve nothing less. And I'll be here cheering you on every beat of the way.